Yo imi unganayitimbo sasa pano panika nyaya kari kupisa. We just wanna talk about it machitsika. Welcome, oh you know what time it is. Send it to your friends so they also be a part of this. You cannot describe what you feel, huh? We taking Zimbabwe to the world, huh? Yeah, this is Black and Forth. Welcome, this is Black and Forth.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It's another episode of the Black and Forth podcast. Tiri Popa Bridge. But something is different. Something I know. Right now, I focus on one camera. It's like, what is Kanduro hiding from us? So without further, Shagadaru. Mr. Mari.
Back again in the building. Back again per bridge.
I'm going to promise I'll not do
it. Chanasina kupromisa nje kuti pandiri kudzoka ndiri kudzinga mumwe munhu ndooneka ndasina kukupa kuna vanhu yapa bridge
maisepi munasha
wongotanga kuti apa tichakwana apa vamwe vanhu kaende pa10
panyanya
hayo noizi yakuwandisa mani vamwe ngavamboenda pa10 so ndoyatara
maisepi munasha
hatangomushafa somewhere vangoti hasha chimbodai
So welcome to our co-host this special episode. Right. Mr. Mnashi, Western Chirisa couldn't be with us this week because Western in my commitments are heavy.
Theater guy,
busy serious man. Commitments. So that mess, stand in. We are bus. So our mission today is to get Mr. Mari cancelled.
Yeah.
By the end of this episode, illicit. My group my opinion in group chat. I'm Singapore group chat.
No, man.
Welcome back, Baba.
Thank you so much, man. I'm really glad to be here. It's always a joy, man. It's always a joy. Even just watching the show and watching the growth.
Yeah.
I mean, my podcast, no, one of the things that's very difficult to grow.
Yeah.
You see, my podcast, it takes a long time to start getting the amount of traction that you guys are getting. So shout out to you, man.
We actually had to give ourselves perspective. You know, ideally everyone wants to be doing my 50,000, my 100,000. But then when you think about it, 10,000. Imagine 10,000 people in a building.
You shared that with me at one point.
And you're like, man, still farmer.
1,000 people just sitting down, to watch you articulate your thoughts.
Rubbish thoughts.
Your nonsense. So it's always a pleasure to be here. I'm glad, man.
You've been busy since the last time you were here.
Think about it. How long ago was that?
4 weeks.
About 4 weeks ago I was here.
Yeah.
In the UK. No. I'm only bringing it up to really just appreciate Mario Mageto.
Mwari wemageto
I mean,
kana pane mwari arinopinzwa busy.
Mwari wemageto it's akundike.
Because mamwari kwese mageto is atozokumbira mamwe asha.
But
he always comes through.
Exactly, God comes through, man.
He always comes through.
I'm really happy we're at that point in our career. No, Taro podcast, but I include part 2.
Exactly.
So.
And they cheating.
Not next month. Not next month straight.
Because no, we need a part 2. We need a part 2. No, next year. No.
So it's been about 4 weeks since I was here. Taenda ku Joburg, taenda ku Lusaka, taenda ku So I came decided Saturday to Tanga.
The phase 2.
Yeah, so I've been to Masvingo, to Bulawayo, to Joburg, to Lusaka.
Yeah.
And it's been it's been an amazing journey as you probably know. How these things are, the high moments, the challenges, but it's so exciting. It is all rewarding.
Very gratifying as well.
Exactly.
Shokutanga nekutenda though we have our people vakazodonedza munenga. You know, my coffees, you know, in the past 2 weeks. I just want to give a big shout out. You've had Sanzi, well done, guys. I've been a huge fan since Mkoma Bruce in the morning, Rio housemaids, etc. Please keep up the good work.
That's a real one.
Nemkono wake with 5 more coffees.
Shout out to you.
Rooms ndo vaita come through kwanza. I'm topping up my subs. Hashtag support your faves. This is 3 coffees. Shout out to Miss King Anzi ne 10 pounds zangu. This is for Munash's makeover because we are putting together Mari. Munasha akati akureleasa BBL Remveri saka Miss King vauya ne 10 yala. Ameno kuti
target ichiva.
Yeah, mkomana achadzoka utudza kuti.
What about breakdown the budget?
What about breakdown? Here so to because whatever breakdown does what you get top up kebasa. Is my GoFundMe even young ukanona ndavura GoFundMe chire kenza. Tuzisa mari vakoma. Tichi maya mana zvikenza pacha zvidawo my refreshments. Hey, kamweka. So big shout out man to these people. I also want to give a big shout out to some of these people that we work with. This past weekend we did Manchester.
That was crazy.
Also did London.
It was fire, yeah. It was my snippets.
It was beautiful.
I could see, I could tell.
And both shows were very different from one another.
But equally exciting.
Equally exciting, equally dope. Like you walk away with different things to take, right? Manchester show was very, like it had this intimacy. You actually feel like you're hanging out with, because it was about 150, 160 people. The venue was very intimate and it's built. But the intimacy, actually, no my limitations are the way the setup of the room,
all right.
My up and down, my way,
easily noticeable,
easily noticeable and very disruptive. But then afterwards, shout out to Young Chizi, helped us organize, hooked up a space, Kaliro after party, what. So about 20 or so people, show came, hung out, dancing around. Nice. Very wholesome, very pure fun.
Right. And you know what I always say? I always say, you know, I love the performing, part of my shows. I love telling the jokes, but also that moment is very special to me. Time I'm not around my picture and and somebody then says,
exactly. And then you're like,
oh, no man. So yeah, it was really dope if you got to do that.
It was so dope. Then London now was obviously much bigger, right? So what it lacks in terms of intimacy, you get more in terms of like the engagement of the reaction
during the performance.
It's louder.
Exactly. It's more enhanced.
It's more enhanced. It's more pronounced. And then, but to be honest, both crowds were very engaged, very there. They came to have fun. They came, obviously couldn't do
link up
afterwards because I was London prize. Manchester show was so dope. There was a guy, I want to give a special shout out to Mkomo wangu, man.
Oh, the guy you posted.
Yeah. Mkoma Goto. After he came with his lovely wife, front row, he was having the most fun. He was listening to it. Afterwards, you know, when you're doing your thank yous, what talk to my pictures, like, you know where the marigo venue? I will take care of it. Indakangoti kutaura kwemvinga ndo maanko zaya kuti paningirana noti ndipei maCV ndipei ningirano
rushinobweyo alright runza CV then kana asoba achaziva.
He took my number, Maxen mfana wangu ndipei account detail chori
serious
mari yevenue, but vakatumira mari yevenue yeningirikini exactly even
I'd say uri don't miss mataura chanzi uri realize that no paita some extra money hapa yongo sino planira yongo siri kuziva
No.
Zimbabwe.
I just now wangachozviga kuti no, I meant vakatumira mari yevenyu as in kuti takavaudza kuti venyu yaita the specific amount 0.7 ndovakatumira saka kuri kwakunzi chinhu chakazongoita ndeti venue obviously by the time we do the show taibhadhara saka takangoita kunge taitwa reinvest unoita but you know that's how I knew kuti this is a business
I want to take care of this expense. This particular
hakuna zvazvofanira kuti anzi ndakuzoraunda off zvedu zvenigiri because pane mamwe have you ever received mari dzekuti wakambopiwa mari inoita kunge gift and you're like mari irubva kupi because kanga kusununguka kamaita mukundipa ka handichatrust kuti mapurisa akauya kunonzi kanduro taidya naye but unozoona kuti no, this is a businessman anakirwa neshow and
he wants to take care of a particular expense.
And
man,
to
shout out to that man.
So big shout out. Nyangwe ndakatoenda ku London ndine pressure because ndaitoti venue ku London because venue ku London was times 3 what we paid in Manchester. So ndakati shit. Kana zvaitika ku Manchester. London ndakanaka. Ndakaudza vanhu vekulondon kuti ndozvaiti kwakangoti
vakati God bless that guy. Vakati vakagona
ishasha
mutitenderowo munhu
nepedu vakasiyana naye because I think maybe nditakakanganisa ndakazoudza vanhu nyaya iyi vakubuda vanhu vakati
plus also vanhu vanenge vakutoti saka waboka
but vanhu ndakaona kuti vanhu vakawanda vakatouya kushowi vachiziva nyaya iyi saka I think hana dzavo dzanzingori dzekuti kandropa achataura nyai asi kuzotwana isusu kuti
no, but I'm really happy when things like that happen because you know, apart from just the financial gain, I want a little bit of extra money. Because honestly, in any feeling yango as well, in area kuti I'm sure if there were like 10 other guys who are in a position, who are capable, because I don't think that guy was the only guy who wants out of all the people who've watched. But he's probably one of the few who wants and is able to do it, is in a position to do it.
Exactly.
Guys, £1,000 so when those things happen, I think it just gives you a reminder. You know, I think I'm doing the right thing, and people appreciate.
It's very reaffirming. What's the most generous somebody has ever been? Because I know you have quite a few people who pop up and say, "Oh, take a ticket. We want to take care of this. We want to."
Hey, you know, Chandato Tangazes. Ndikada uskana ndautra funga ndikapika particular describe mumwe ane yake yanga
saka vako vakawanda
ndopa ndakuzotaura obva anati rimwe gore ndiri kugokwe kuti but generally I have seen that in my work, especially like what you're saying. Usually when I announce a show, ndikuita show let's say kuZim ndikuita show kwa Harare I have some people, I've got my sister in Australia, some people in New Zealand, some in the UK, in the States. But I don't go to, you know what, I can't come to the show, but I'll pay for 20 people. And all my details. Did I saw? Don't know some t-shirts, merchandise. Take 10, just do my giveaways. I can't collect or there's no way to ship here and stuff like that. So and I would just like to genuinely appreciate all of those people. And I know for even those who haven't managed to do that, I know there are so many of you who are very well meaning. We're very well meaning. We are rallying behind you. And I want you to know that you are equally appreciated.
So yeah, man, big shout out. Even when it comes to corporates, you know, I've had an incredible relationship, and I was talking about this at the shows, you know, Ananyaradzo, you know. They've been with me since before there was anything to believe with. You know? And to just see those guys like now, you know, they get their decision, their vision. They would know, turn to right to beg this guy. You know, and I was so happy, you know, because Evo, they kind of get their their mileage through, signing up for, people. It made me so happy seeing people engaging with them, leaving their details. Pane vanhu vakatouya vakato sign up like kumashow chaicho kuti mas I'm committing ndotoida police. Vamwe vachiti no ndazouya wangu kubhawa ndasina kutarisa, but these are my details.
Lovely.
Please call me Monday.
Lovely.
So we can set it up. Leaving a show mune 30 or so ma sign up ekuti tasiya ma details 5 ma sign up 30 or so leads ekuti tifonere tini. So vanobva vatosimbiswa kuti no biza redu iri. So big shout out to Nyaradzo, man. Taifamba tiri mu skill unotsona kuti zvinhu zvakaropa fast. So I'm really looking forward this weekend we are together. Scotland,
yes, Glasgow is coming up.
Yeah.
So but still on that tip, just getting to appreciate the people who put their money where their mouth is.
Yeah.
Because there are some people who go, Zimbabwe is great talent. Zimbabwe is a lot of talent. And I do understand, good. Nobody really is starting a business to support comedians.
No.
Or to support Zim dance or artists.
No.
So this one corner, corporates don't support. No, because in
Exactly.
But then also people who try to look into the community, to the society, and try to look at the people who are adding value and try to be a part of that.
Yeah.
Big shout out to them, man. I've also been incredibly blessed to work with a lot of companies in the Econet group. And I move insurance, Chichiana Maisha Health, and EcoShow, and like what you're saying, when you see some traction also going to the brand, you feel that relief as an artist. So these guys were right. Because you understand that these people are with a corporate social responsibility, they're giving back. But at the end of the day, it's business. They want to get numbers. And I do more than what so yeah, a big shout out.
No, it takes a lot, man, for somebody to say kuti ndakupa mari nekuzwe the gap between ndakupa mari nekuti mari yacho turi gap iroro musarijairire.
We'll get back to you. We'll talk to the superiors. We'll escalate the issue. So yes, this
Amazon varifarira urivet back.
Ko
makarinzwa kupikwa wediroro.
Rivet yakabatwa. Tongoti noted with thanks. Tongo mirira.
But yeah, chirongwa chemashows chiri kuendera mberi. Glasgow musi wechishanu
on Friday the 13th.
Then Saturday we have different shows. You're coming back to Newbury.
Enjoying Edinburgh.
Tinge tiri Scotland. So please come through. Tinge tinavo vakomana venyaradzo. Toda vanhu vanofa zvine skill zvekuti tinozokuitira maGoFundMe ndezvekushaya. Titori teda reshanzawo mari dzekuti azovigwa pasera apa iri mukomana ngaanovigwa kuWarren Hills. Aiwa munhu chingoshaya wozo amazi wanga waka ndege yako yemutumbi. Ndege vachanokuchema accommodation paZimbabwe, mari dzemagrocery zviripo. And even for you, I'm pretty sure they have the same. What does it say about vakomana comedy being endorsed nevanhu vanoita zvekuviga vanhu?
Vanenge vachiti one day vakomana muchaura vanhu nekuseka. Saka vanhu vese kana pane munhu anofanira kukurudzira vanhu kuti vasaine apo.
There is almost like a symbiotic relationship like laughter and nekusuwa, almost like uplifting, that
very
the
necessary
for.
Like like one of the things chandakatanga kurealize even in our show culture ndechekuti patori nevanhu zvafana patori nevanhu munhu anenge achinzi best friend kana kuti sawira munhu anenge ashaya basa rake panhamo kusimudza vanhu kukreka majokes batsire uyo angari benzi mufana uyo hakomana zvanhingi that type of thing to just kungotriangoita kuti mood isabve yanyo saka I feel like we are perfectly positioned, we are perfectly placed. Nyaya yekurongeka inenge ichingoita sei inenge ichingokurudzirwa. Saka tiri kufamba naro band rekuperforma here. And
from here, where do you go?
Like ndapedze muno. I'm going back to the United States of America again. No, apa
fake humility yacho.
No, chandakusimbiza apa ndakuti again because uzoti uri kuenda on my mind. So saka the card that I've always had against you.
Was
Regional valid. Regional valid. But the
Kuti ware
rapid go expire.
2-0.
Ndotoita ndicounter ono. November. Achagona kuti ndamboenda kuAmerica yosati on. But so far, maybe so I'm going to the States for the 3rd time. And so you will see.
Wait, Kananga catch 3. This year?
Yeah. So,
wait, catch 2 kachikangarika.
I was. And ndakatanga ndenda muna May Zimex.
What are you
team Atlanta? Panakona team Illinois. Chamber of Commerce. Chicago. Shout out to Dr. Larry Ivory, the president of the Illinois Black Chamber of Commerce. He saw me, man, and it was like, this guy's funny, man. One of the funniest guys I've ever seen in my entire life. So you will see. You will see when you will see when you get there, you see. So I'm going to the States. I have a show in Texas, in Allen, Texas, on the 21st of September. And the tickets are selling pretty well. And so if you are any part of Texas or around, even in Ghana, you need to catch flights. Let's just make this happen. This is the first time it's ever happening, and it's going to be amazing, man. It's going to be lit. And I love just a thought, and I don't forget when I was just talking about the States. Rest in peace to Connie, the lady from South Africa. Akambo feature pa Black Panther song.
Oh, Anza Sechuma.
I think so. So I saw an interview after she had passed, where she was asked by Makjia Ganzi, what's one thing that you learned in America? I learned that people in the United States, they respect talent. And it like because you know the experience and when I went the second time to Chicago for that Chamber of Commerce event, I thought this being a business convention and myself being just an entertainment act, I'm not the focus, right? So I'm expecting to even ndikasvika even hotel room yangu ichada kutsvaga kunzi handiipi zviya handitika ini ndiri kungozvitreat as an afterthought. Number one, nenyaya yekuti ndiri kuti this is primarily business. I'm just entertainment, right? Secondly, ndiri kutovhuwa zvangu kuAfrica. So these guys might actually feel like, no, we're doing this kid a favor. We're giving him a platform, right? But no! Bro, ndakasvika ka. There was a woman who was handling the registrations. I put on my credentials. The moment I mentioned Kuti, I'm not sure that. That's like Pastor? Oh, it's so good to see you. Because the previous day, but there was an issue with the flights because they had booked flight in Nico Island, and then Island says, no, you can't pass through unless you have an Irish visa. So I ended up getting delayed by one more day. So so makafamba boy my flights delay. No, please get some rest. You know your credentials. This is where you're gonna have breakfast. Maybe it's just this particular lady who's well trained. King Digital being Dr. Larry Ivory, the president of the Black Chamber of Commerce. I got, the Slick Pastor is here. Funny guy, I tell you. Such a funny man. Throughout the day, because performance we've heard so much about you. I'm going to pressure. So I really caught that. And because I also work with other artists, I also organize events. I want to make people feel the same way, when I go back home. Because panic and for it's intentional, but in good culture. You know, that type of thing. So that's one of the very exciting things about the States.
Shout out, man. So 21 September. Then after that,
18 October. That'll be that.
So don't there's a gap between 21 and but you have another like some private functions in between.
Oh yeah, of course. I am wedding. And I don't book on that budget.
I don't know
anyway, Portugal.
No, but, that's so in between then.
Yeah, it's just private stuff.
Private stuff.
But 18 October, we have the big one, shut down. Homecoming, 18 October, 7 Hours Theatre. Tickets.
Munofane kuvairirwa musi wainhingirini kuti hey
guys, I'm just going to be narrating my experiences. So come and find out how the journey has been.
Kuparara nekuvairirwa. After Edinburgh, Dubai, 28 September.
Right.
Dubai is incredible. I just want to give a big shout out to Habibi. Habibi.
They're doing the right thing.
I'm sorry I ever doubted you. I'm sorry, but shout out to everybody that's bought their tickets so far. We still have a little bit of a long way to go until mweya wangu wanyatsozorora, but what I'm seeing so far is very encouraging, man. I say that because Dubai is one of the most expensive shows on this tour.
Right.
Prior to this, most expensive was Germany, then London.
Okay.
Yeah. Then maybe Mashoe Harare.
Now,
but yeah.
You won't believe for me the most expensive.
Yeah.
Is it fine, but it was Zambia.
Why is it fine?
No, it's funny because you would expect South Africa maybe might have been more expensive.
What made it expensive?
Zambia, there was an issue. Shout out to Zambia.
Yeah.
The people.
Yeah.
Lovely people. Both the Zimbabweans were there and generally the Zambians. You don't, in terms of the interactions on Channel 1, you don't even feel for a moment that house museum.
Right.
Very warm, lovely people.
Yeah.
Also the Zimbabweans, they slick pastor, we are some airport and stuff like that. Very lovely people. But the way the country is set up is so difficult to maneuver.
Right.
Because the person I ended up unlike music, comedy has very specific settings. Like music, you're not going to have ground, you're not going to have theater, you're not going to have hall, it will all work. So the guy was running around, he ended up settling for the Radisson Blue Hotel. Patakatanga kudiscussa nyaya tichita maconversion emakwacha nechichichichichi zvaita sekuti venue inogona kukosta like maybe $400 or something. But takuzobhadhara tambobhadhara down payment tazosvika ikoko tabhadhara balance takazoweka no, we've spent around 816. And then
Zvindozvorwadza man.
Zvinobohwa. And then there was a B&B atanga tiri kwangusita magets for about 23 hours. Ndingoti 23 kuitira kuti pamwe pane hour raakauya ndakarara. Ndingoisawo benefit of the doubt.
Saka maishandisei?
Kuita sei?
Kuchaja phone
takatongoti pakatombosvika, and the last time this has ever happened to me anywhere was in Zimbabwe like many years ago. Zvekuti phone haina moto and you don't know what to do.
Right.
Because it found us unprepared. Because we were thinking, we knew about the power situation in Zambia. But we were thinking, kuti
pane pachazoshaya
provision. Ndokubva taita sei sapambato nesolar zveshuwa. Mona tatobadza aini tata aina hembe tatobuda tatapinda muchiraundi. Patakazodzoka sanzi ko chichaitika pana kasi mabadza aini nemuridzi wenhingiriri. Because solar haisi aini ndeyemalights netv. Saka inverter yakazodanha kunga 2 days kuti recover idzoke panzvimbo
neaini.
Yeah. So it's just a difficult. So you end up. So I think it's a nice place to go and wafambira izvozvo don't know kuti Zambia kuri sei ndikuona vanhu. But when you're trying to get work done,
when you're in the momentum,
it's a bit stressful. But I think the show we ended up having, the love we were shown, zvinongoitawo like a reward factor. No, but it was worth it. It was worth it. So shout out to all the bullets Palusaka. He showed us love, man. So
zvinotendwa. But hanzi hasi kudzoka.
I did not.
Hanzi haiwa.
I know.
Ngatisangane paborder.
I did not expressly say that. But ndingoti, I mean, Zambia padhuze. Mukanzwa kuti neshoko Harare, chingoyayo kuHarare, you guys.
So this week now baba nyaya iri kunetsa ndeyekuti muri kubva kuZimbabwe. Matiza Starlink emi.
Nawe Starlink.
Matiza Starlink yangoti ichi. So if you're not in the know, earlier this week Starlink went live in Zimbabwe, which obviously got a huge reaction because data in Zimbabwe has been notoriously expensive, you know,
and some people have been complaining even about the quality
of
service,
2 gigs as 2 gigs, 8 gigs
so people went wild. I mean, Twitter went wild vanachingo taura nyaya Starlink fara Starlink yazouya chichichichi. You would for a second actually think that Starlink is being given out by
for
the
free.
government. You would think kuti zviri kunzi kuri kwaichingo installwa mudzimba.
We have our mutual friend angambori netenda rema-Starlink. I sent him a message as soon as I found out with Starlink. So this friend of ours, Madeza, before Starlink was official, he is the guy that you would go to if you wanted Starlink. And he had my prizes mamwe ekuseri kwemba I could chaya my prize.
It's funny because just a month ago. And you want to know what ngatiite Starlink because if we work together, you've got numbers and you advertise, and we know what my adverts are going to anogana traction yakawanda. We always get so. We advertise together. It's good, man.
It's good, man. Because Joshua, I think he was selling them for like 7, 8.
Exactly.
And 7, 8 what? So I sent him a message, and the message just said I was off. I just said was off.
Yeah, I got your hands.
So do you know the thing about him that I will always give him credit for was even when we were talking, he would say ndikuona zvisvika December. Andikuona zvisvika December. So I'm just trying to grab as much as I can. Wow, you know, make hay while the ningregin. So I don't think he was that disappointed.
No. Angasiri akamatenda. Angasiri munhu wekuti ane maoffices.
No.
No, hamuna itoita zvinhu zvakakamira negumbo wano.
That's the kind of environment Zimbabwe is. Man, unogona jet rako and then jet rako might just, you know.
So harisi rekutobva watoti chichi.
So, you know,
big reaction Starlink
got, and obviously people are reacting. But I think the big reaction now was also from other mobile network operators.
Of course.
Slashing my price.
Of course.
And whatnot, and trying to compete. The crazy thing is Starlink manje, takapinda, because I think Starlink, their packages were like, you get like, what is it, 350 for the initial package, the kids, and then 200 if you're getting the mini, but then per month it's $50.
50.
It's been less than a day. They came back and said, no. 30.
Saka munhu ne 230 unoona mini Starlink mini ne subscription
yako.
Wakutochimali.
And we're talking unlimited. Per 30. Coffee. I don't want to lie.
I would also like to believe kuti tichatanga kuona maviews edu panapa achidabla achitripla,
because that's
kana data ranga
missile.
Tichatanga kuona
the thing that I'm really enjoying the most as a digital content creator is that it means everyone else is going to have to get a competitive price.
Of course.
Kana muri makampani ari munhingiriri, it just means kuti, but it also means now kuti now vanhu vakukompita on a isusu company yedu can provide this over this company. Quality
it may
of
not
service.
Just be, exactly. It may not just be a money issue.
Yes.
Inogona kutoita even a confidence issue, a trust issue yokuti kune like ndakaona mumwe munhu akatweeta akati guys, all this Starlink thing just sounds too good to be true. Are you telling me kuti
do you know now the one thing that I know chichapesana vanhu vakawanda neStarlink. Starlink hakuna zvekudownloada mamovie pagujara kana zvematorrent.
Inenge yava
very quickly. Very, very quickly. Because everything is ready. That whole everything is ready. Ushanza internet yavo kakudownload daily. They can track. So tazoona wadownloada mukomana. Very quickly. Zvino vanongobloka ndingiri.
Of which is, magetsi ndoko anenge achitambira.
Handiri kuona manje.
So that still means it's an interesting time.
So it's going to be an interesting time where we're going to see people lean on kuti ayo maize. Isusu guys, we've been in the trenches with you for a long time. Maybe ningirigini, but really and truly takarerwa ne some of these companies. Tendai mwanangu, mombe yako yadya munda wakadhao. You know? And even when certain companies maybe that came and went and gave up, and some of these companies have stayed the course, despite the government some of these companies have provided scholarships. Some of these companies have provided like incredible memories, family memories. Saka we're going to.
There's a lot to consider. Yeah.
Ndida kuona kuti Starlink ichaita road show here. Ndoba chaona kuti chibaba ndiani.
Ipapo.
Because whoever anokwanisa kurunura road show.
Ichanditumira message happy birthday.
Andiriona manje.
Nekuti pano andoziya kuti ipapo wakanganisa. Munhu wese anogona kukangana kuti happy birthday, unoona ichingoya. Nigel Maritini, happy birthday to you.
From.
Yeah, I'm inspired. I'm inspired.
So, yeah.
I'm inspired.
So, and also, this might be an opportunity. What else? Nijuna kandorot. Aya, ma brand ambassador akanaka.
Nekuti.
Ma ideas asiri kure. Havisi kure. Isusu we are all about.
Kuita marketing.
Andruona.
Inonzi open check kaya.
Open pen out. Tati isusu, we are not here for shiny new toys. Tiri vanhu vanoita no. Zvino we
mina katara chirungu choti hey, the angel, the devil,
isusu tiri kuti makagara unogona wakagara utori kumarketing department.
Because also ndinafunga kuti all right, panza apo 300 nechichi 350 but ndiri kuti ndikangwana haisi $45 here. Smart smart busy. Ameno. You don't want to
madhuku eblue aya takasunga kunge mabhandana pano pa podcast.
Amen.
Musarobozvidhipise.
Amen. All in one.
Chai phone.
We're here to change your world.
Start here. Change these words.
So amen. Moving on. Moving on. And there was also a reaction from South Africa.
Yeah.
Because apparently, so far, Africa, mnemango ma countries kumsoro, but there is Malawi, ne Zambia, I think, nesu, but Starlink mu
South Africa.
I said yeah.
And
South Africa now was tora because they obviously thought, Uripan paurufunga kuti ndiwe special guest ona chikafu chako unotanga kudaizo ozoona chako enda.
But then again, also I think ku South Africa yatongonyaya yekugara, bro. Because those people don't really like in terms of
no,
I think inyaya yekuti indenchi compare nhamo yangu tichicompare prices atinochargwa isusu. I mean relative to what they know and what the rand can afford to zvinodhura. But those people have options. Oti MTN, Vodacom, Cell C, then wozoita avo internet chaiwo vana Telkom, vana chichi. My prices avo atori competitive as is within that market. Obviously, they still want Starlink to make it but ndichicompare nhamo dzekuti isusu tanga tiri muzero yekuti maprices aitaurwa tichicompare maprices ataibhadhara isusu kuZimbabwe ndo ainzi it's probably the annual subscription yekuti muri kubhadhara $50 guys, $50 for 50 gigabytes. Kuno kunengwa, that's the maximum. So it's those kind of stuff. But obviously, you always want.
You can never get enough. I don't know to disrupt your food.
Exactly.
So, but anyway, Ngawambo Mir.
Kurutanga nirra fest. Kurutanga nirra fest.
This was Tuono Miss Universe.
Miss Universe. For some reason, it feels very weird as a Zimbabwean, but we are on top. This particular
it feels weird, but aukazovaonawo Miss Universe wachoti aiwa
Sakile Dube.
aiwa ndizvozvo
Aiwa front and center.
Aiwa ari kurepresent
front and center.
Aiwa ari
This is one way I'm like tikasachigwina apa ndoda kuona ari kujaja.
Munoona problem inoitika pamasina ndeyekuti
ndoda kuona ari kujaja because this looks like it's ours.
Yeah.
From
it seems like we're going for the win. But you know, so antivanozombofunza ma-questions.
But from what I know, she's a lawyer.
She'll ace it.
Saka munhu wekuti
ipapa area
yoyo yekuti bvunzwa akawanda aiwa ari kuti atori problem yaanokwanisa kutoita ndeyekutozopindura zvinhu zvaasina kubvunzwa ndeyekutozotsiura vanhu. Saka but otherwise no, it looks good, man. And
rooting for you.
I realize kuti maZimbabwean we don't have that many few good moments. So when we get one guy tunotonetsekana kuti toitambira stage.
And also ndo chimwe chinoitika kuti dzimwe nguva isi ndinoona vanhu dzimwe nguva vanoti zoni Zimbabweans no where were you all along, you're not even supporting. Chinoitika dzimwe nguva we don't want to get our hopes up tinge tichika kuti patiri kunyatsotanga kupfeka majezi tichidai so tichidai
4-0
obva anodyiwa ikoko. So tinge tichitohopa kuti zvinhu zviitaona but tinenge tichitoda kupinda nemwoyo.
Aiwa pinda nemwoyo wozobuda usina kana
chii manje. Saka but honestly man, yeah, we're just hoping and praying for the best, rooting for our girl kuti
tinemi iPhone 16 yakabuda kababa.
Right.
Funga dzenyu dzakarerekera.
Hapana, ndaitotaura nacomic nezuro because comic ndo aneskirira kuti
payabuda ipa
pabuda chinhu hatori time. And this is not the thing yotokazotanga waya kuno mune mchita hadzo chero tiri kuZimbabwe chinhu yabuda wezongona kuswera mangwana vanayo. So yaingoti vakapinda 13 obva wani pa 12 yavanga ishandisa. So hatiri kungomaintaina same order. Ndaitotaura nawo nezuro ndikati ndipewa 15 makato-order here. Saka obviously anenge achinitengesera zvavo but ndakaudza kuti ndichingoibhadhirawo seubhadhira kwamurita yenyu. Kana ari ma-12,000 per month
ndongokupawo. No, and I missed the announcement, right? I missed the announcement and andinazombofera ndanzwa chidokwa chekuiningira. And I was questioning myself, is this because one handina mari yacho kana kuti two mweya wacho wandidarika
or three you know kumashure waiti pane malaunch ekuti ndaigarira pasi ndonzwa kuti now the new iPhone 13 can do ABCD. Then koita mamwe kuti ndensina kuiona but news would just get to me mumaclips nemachichi kuti inoita 1 2 3 4 5 things. The only thing I've heard so far chirunzi chakaedwa apa hanzi pane button here recamera and rikunzi and vanhu vanoshandisa Android vanobva vatomhanyira kuti tagara tinaro for so many days. Zvekuti it seems at this point like ingori consumerism inenge
ichikuedhera that's true because I haven't heard anyone uploading any new features. What hapane pink?
Exactly. Kala.
Pane ningirikini. Inene I only upgraded because last year because of the charging system. Because I wanted to now carry one charger.
Right. For your laptop.
For my laptop, for my chichi, everything is USB-C. So once ndangoita ndikati at this point hapana bad content yatiri kuningira yekuti inomboda kumbonzi. Because at this point my phone actually just look the same. Ndiwa kutofana umba uchitsanangura vanhu. No.
But
yangu is 16.
It's 16 guy.
So and no one ever looks good explaining that to anyone.
I know. You only look foolish. 16. Edanga chiri mazuva akudhara. Twitter, remember Twitter pane payainyora kuti from iOS yaiti chiko yaiti from iPhone here
right for Twitter ilo nakauraya vanhu
akauraya vanhu because dai kwankunika some feature on these platforms or apps inongonyora from iPhone 16.
But what's the greatest cell phone ever made? I came across an image of a 3310 the other day and I thought hey
but tench measure chi
not just emotional connection chai not emotional connection nekuti phone yamakambopfura nepenyu mukati
aiwa 3310 inonetsa kubhita because ndo yanga nesnake.
Ndoyanga
Ndo
nesnake.
yanga the most common yanga iri blue one. Ndiyo ne Space Impact. Yanga ne ka game ka Space Impact ketu tunenge tundege.
I was Space Impact, I think yakazouya pama later generations. Because 3310 yanga ngori ne snake. And 3310 tantiri vana zvekuti hapana tantiri vana.
Yeah, I think it has to be that, because also I think at some point at some point it just got too much, like angoanda mafoni and akungo.
And for me, the ones that come to mind, obviously 5110 is the first one.
Okay.
Ndobva ndafunga pressure dzeku high school. I don't know why indakango pane tumwe tuma insecurities twetete ende ndoshaya kuti twaibvepi because ndakakurira mukamba. Munhu wese anogara mukamba muno mwana wemupurisa hapana ane mari saka pressure muri kuiwana but waitonzwa ushonyeba zvinhu zviri mbameni
matogona kuuya
andiona and aside from kuti matogona kuuya hamutorina evidence yekuti zvinhu zvirimo andiona but worst times of vhurana manje tiri pa high school kuboarding. Mafoni aibuda because pakazomboita wave yemamotorola manhingiriri flip phone ikanetsa. I remember pane time yandakambonyepa kuti kwedu ndara nefoni yakaita sei kwenhingirini pavisiting mutara wangu handifini ndakaikanganwa visiting iyoyo ane rimwe 5110 so reyelo
kwakakuribudisire
aiwa haana kuribudisa angatori ranga riri apo because unoona chii baba
ukaona vanenge vakamaka.
Now that ndakura I realize, do you know my achievements inogona kunge isiri achievement kwauri but achievement kwandiri. So you see kuti inini ana mudhara vedu because of economy onhingirini pane zvimwe zvinhu zvavakazoita late. One, because budget ranga risinga munhu kuendesa vana vangu kuchikoro. Two, zvimwe zvinhu vanenge vasingazvikoshese kuona kukosha kwavo kuti pressure chaiyo yekuti anzi cellphone ndofanira kuita because cellphone iri kupisa ndotaura nani vanhu hamashamwa dzangu inadzo ndisava ndoita cellphone iyi saka macellphone vakazomaita macellphone akutopisa kudhara and cellphone yavakatanga kuita imudhara wangu yanga iri 5110 yeyelo ma 5110 anga atoti sauke kudhara but yeyelo saka mudhara wangu inini problem yakaita ndeyekuti kuzomutsiura manje kuti no mudhara foni iyi haisi foni yekutombobuda naye panze anoona takanonoka kumutaurira saka 5110 iyoyo yanga itori to him he was very proud of it.
They must see nefoni
apa waudza
Motorola Razor.
But those kind of things, I thought about. I don't know what made me remember it this past week, and I was thinking, it's more pressure than no. But I think of 5110, 3310, Samsung E250.
Samsung E250. Yakaiswa no A.
Yes.
Yakaiswa
because ndo pakatanga music. Slide.
Ichipinda na former song.
Yes.
Because
ichibva nepajoza.
My memory card.
Yes.
Yeah. But isusu made kwedu manje tiri ku high school. Shout out to Munashe Chinyama if you're watching this. He's now a doctor in Namibia. Anga ine phone yake E250. Tiri pa boys aya.
Right.
Phone yanga isina music. Yanga ngori nemangoma video. Aningada kuonwa nevakomana. So as I come and kumbira phone, that's no phone. So, but in Nina, I've always been, an upstanding man in society. So, and I'm going to go and kumbira E250. So, and in any case, phones were illegal. Boarding, so ndangozvifunga zvangu kuti if you tell anyone in my stream about the Samsung E250,
they take
that's the thing that comes to mind. And the other things zvaitika panyaya phone, I remember tiri so ndaidzidza unyanga network yainetsa because gomo chichi. So there would be corners dzinobata network and sometimes it would be a very weird corner mudenga so Saka skill raipedzisira rakuitika rari rekuti there was a guy anzi Kudzai Muyambo, shout out to you. Anga ine phone. It just happened to be a tall guy. So kana unoita phone call. Ndiye aikudhailira akaisa sei? Oisa paloud. So era yaigona kuzoitika ndeyekuti oda kufonera bhebhi rako. Maboys aya. People just want to make fun of anything and everything. Odhaila so. Overi yo, hello. Wadotana nebhebhi rako. Matauriro ausingasiita na. Yo, hi babe. Bhebhi rako rati ndiani? Because you know, Kumari, most of the guys were from Rusape, Nyanga, Mtare area, so that deep Manyika accent. Yo, hi babe. Ndiani because numbers of phone at Zimbabwe. So I don't know that phone is genuinely as she does any other time. And she's, even if she knew it was you, she was probably going to answer like that because that's who she is. She's not aware of the precarious situation in
Magunzi.
Mungu akafona wabereki towards mazo visiting. Saka network yaita ichinetsa ona. Achida kuti nyaya yangu chara yepressure kuti unonzwa mom zangu vachatonzera mazoe ndasoma chichi ndasoma malays that type of thing ndifone saka network inoita ichinetsa ndangochinja mazita so that azvinange munhu achichaichaya tomboti anonzi Tinashe munhu ari kufona Tinashe hello mama ndi Tinashe hello mama ndi Tinashe visiting hello but vakecha kuti ari kutaura nyaya visiting chichi Tinashe hatina mari hatisi kuuya ba zvaziri kuita zvikuditsira phone yakabatwa naMuyambo you can only hopelessly look at this kumagunzi arara pasi akuseka. Interesting times. Character development.
Boarding was character development. Have you ever done reunion?
No.
Dine shungu dzekuita reunion.
No. Of course. Aiwa. And listen, nyama reunion inongotangwa nevanhu vari kufunga kuti vabudirira muupenyu ende inorambwa nevanhu vasiri kugutsikana nepawakamira. Just that. Hapana zoti vanhu vambosuwana, vanhu vada kulinka. Aiwa.
No.
Reunion ingori platform yezvishandwa. Unless maybe. Just maybe. For vanhu vaya vagara vaenda to those affluent schools. Vanhu vakagara I think vasina need to prove anything.
No, for me it's really my high school, because I ended up getting expelled. So
no correct.
Not even correct. I feel like I never got a proper goodbye. I really never got to sign out of high school.
No, you got the goodbye you deserve.
And I feel like, because those were some of the best and worst times. But a lot of my fundamental memories were made by high school.
Okay.
And these are things that I always thought even before this. Honestly. But now that you put it in Ngringini, no one is going to
reunion. Anyone who is pro reunion, guys, if you want, I can secure the venue. I can pay for the venue. Nigga group. I true contributor Marie, I'll pay for the venue. I'll pay for the drinks. So is it okay if my company so a reunion is always one on subject reunion, one on watch billboard sister farm. And I don't know how I feel about whether I would want to. One thing I've never really liked after school was even my group say because chincha indi bo and kune vanhu vairamba vachida kungoacta the same one.
Yeah.
So kuna vanhu vekuti kana ungarana ikwanzira vanhu still high school. You still meet them today.
And
saka zvaindi bo because so we haven't grown like tongoramba chiri. Pane ka nostalgia keke ungorangaza. You remember that day chichi. But not really to dwell on that. Saka inandiziwa hangu. Also tiri panyaya yezvikoro. Did you see the list? Pane list rakabuda ka the most expensive schools.
Mm.
Vana vastanga kuitsana nharo chichiwa chitaiwa
Anzi-
Harare International School cannot be less expensive than Peter House because I think Peter House engekeswa number 3.
Peter House was number 1.
Was number 1, right?
4.3. And then number 2 was what? Chikoro chaita 4,000.
Okay.
And then right as I think
But
HIS
in
number
no
3
business commenting on
absolutely none for us. For content.
Okay. Pane munhu akatoitori. Because pane munhu akaposa question akati, guys, do you really think Peter House is more expensive than Watershed or something like that?
No, it's definitely more expensive than Watershed.
Akangoita repost akangoti ai zvakutoda kudeedza vekupeter House newatershed that's a good answer. That's a good answer because I mean
also this is not opinion based.
Exactly, these are facts on. So zvazviri kuda munhu ari kuyachita no last month takabhadhara because inini zvikurova ndikufanira kuita research kuenda pawebsite ndotasa warobhadhara mari ndoti aiwa ndaso research aiwa ngatikwesere nazvo
takutambisa tai
izvi zvatozana namaita nanamalakai isusu ngativhumei kuti zvakaramba
and nemamiriro ekunze matickets ekudubai akasasell out anongoenda kwatakanodzidza
trongomaintain
andiona saka haiwa pane nyaya yakandinakidza baba the nyaya that really nyaya iyi I saw it munewspaper and yakandishoka because the level of zvivindi that is required to pull off something like that. I don't know if you saw this, but there's a court case. There's a husband and wife who were arrested. And Mr. and Mrs. Mudiwa.
I've worked with them. I know what I've worked with them. Not in that matter, but.
So for context, there's a husband and wife who were arrested for defrauding the wife of the vice president, Mimi Baloy, who is now Vice President Chiwenga's wife. The amounts that are being mentioned.
I'm a huge fan of Mimi Baloy.
Like,
this is not political or anything, but I
am
I?
Well, because
he is a person.
Support. Mamas arutaurwa in this Ningrini court case go into the millions. So here are the facts. So
because I whenever I hear stuff like that,
so okay, I'll just paraphrase this. The first, these people promised they can build a home for this Ningrin. I think the quotation goes into the 400 and something thousands.
Okay.
Right? This house was meant to be constructed within 90 days. They promised they could do it. They didn't do it. Prior to that, in the same Kuvarana, they had also committed to building like some structure at the farm. I think this also went into the 300 and something thousand. So in total, we're looking at 900 and something $1,000. Yavakavhara Mimi Baloy. And now kwakunzi how far ndozvikundinetsa kuti but also pakuvhara vanhu hazvina limit here yemaximum mari yauno isingarohwe nehana yekuvhara munhu because ini kana ukavhara munhu what I now know about kuvhara vanhu is anyone anokwanisa kukupa 50,000 yekuti adhiri munhu iye ane pfuti or at the very least anoziva munhu ane pfuti because there is no way someone has 50,000 if they don't know any serious people. Saka but we're talking about an amount that is over 100,000.
Now, but also engo ingo ari kutaura ndiyo yekuti but ipapo pakuzovhara mudzimai wemuteedzeri wemutungamiri
pane chiclip chayo munombotembei.
I don't know. No, but also my other angle iri pakuti remember kakuti my vice president has been for what? Is it a year or two now? Right? They recently got married. Like it's not not old.
But even
Saka pange diri rinenge rakatanga chi. Munhu asati awe.
but even then Munu you Mimi Baloi was a serious person by a colonel. She wasn't just anyone. You can walk up to and say kuti pachavo vari vega vanofana kutongotyisa anoona plus iwo kana utiona uchipiwawo 400,000 uchidepositwa 400,000 unofana kutongoona kuti no this is a serious person watiri kudhila naye ngatingoita aini ngirikini. Also I don't understand kuvhara munhu zvinhu zvino it's very like ukavhara munhu software right ukanzwa kudeliver software or something chiri abstract chiri mumhepo chekudanzwa kudeliver bitcoin or something chisiri tangible building baba building I can see kuti this does not look like the things that you showed me or this looks smaller or this looks bigger or this looks unfinished. What do you mean? How? Also, I don't know. Kuvaka 90 days. In Zimbabwe.
At this moment we can just pray for them. Hope for the best.
Makamboshana mese. Mamanya kutaura kuti makamboshana mese. Makashana mese kupi baba?
Tanzata pedzere topic.
Aiwa munapedza. Mamanya mangoti ayo makashana mese awo.
Now it's very important kuti nditsanangure kuti hapo ndine ndakamhanya ndikafast.
Ndimaka introduce.
It was just in the early stages of the brand awareness, just bringing awareness of the brand. And at the point, they actually did some credible work.
Right.
But around my cluster homes, and but got to advertise. Some people signed up and they got their job done. So I don't know. Fortunately, unfortunately, it was a short-term contract. Because I was a manje. Then chiriko pakupisa kudai so ndakunzinewe
mutorimo mutirongo
ndakakuona iwo uchiti vanopedza saka zviriko
hey
but the lines must be drawn. Kunofana wangu unofana ita maboundary. Plus you see the thing about kuva, all right, ini ndakakura zvandogara chitaura zvaizvo kuti vandoti pakaindi pandozo kuti baba andofunga ini ndiri naive pakuti like I always think the best of everyone and chero ndikasvika panapa ndikaudzwa kunzi pane munhu aba imi mukandisiya ndiri ndega pamba penyu panapa mune 100 pounds mukitchen then modzoka isimo indizo ndiri ndega ndandiripo panapa.
Right.
The reason why I think the best of people is because no, someone cannot be that stupid.
Right.
So maybe paatora pfunga kanga chatora ndongoshandisa ndozodzosera.
Right.
So also kundikana ita sei kudzosera. Saka ndinongotenda even ona unovhara vanhu aya. Ufana kuvhara vanhu kuti worst case scenario kana zvatadza kukuvhara unongodzosera kuti sorry pamba ita ma delay.
Yeah.
Ndiyana unofonera pakati peusiku chamani chimwe chairo kwa 1.5 million.
Aiwa.
So handizivi.
Panofanira kunge pane contingency. Pakuvhara pamfana kana watongodecide kuti ndo mararamiro auri kuita.
Ona.
But kurarama hana ichirova murovero uyoya. Unofanira kunge medical aid imwe.
And then kana wakurama uchidaro then what's the point? Saka amen. Amen. Pangwana ndingaplan totiza. I don't know.
Because andisikuona muchibudika zvamo.
Nditino vamwe vakomana vakapinda rini kwavaya?
Vatoni ngirini.
Tatokanganwa kavakomana.
Tokanganwa kuti vari. Unowana pasina kana bed rakakumirira kana 1. Mabed.
Anenge abaya.
Mabed.
No, but akanakira kuti uchibuda zvavo vakangoverify kuti ichiripo mara anodzoka. Anodzoka.
But unofanira kumbo disinfection.
Tsikidzi chichi zvinotomboda ka time. Kurebranda nekupo confidence kuti ndadzoka clean chichi. So yeah. It is what it is. Varimo mukati.
Life inondityisa.
Tonight bell.
Noza.
Ainenge ichitongoda kutongeta zvatukuita izvozvo. Vanhu vachingotenga matickets vachingo
Uchivharana nevanhu vako.
Yeah.
Do you know what, Paul, you remind me of something that I wanted to say at the beginning of the podcast. The one thing that I'm going to ask my people though, because I notice this very frequently. My people at Satani etiquette yekuenda ku mashows asiri mangungu ndengu. Apasati pane ka etiquette kekuti zvimwe zvinhu zvine decorum, zvimwe zvinhu zvine maitirwo azvo. This happened kuma shows eku Zim. This has also been happening kuma shows ekuno UK. Kakungomirizika. Pfichuka show in. Fair enough, you know, I know kuti dzingwame marwa ma drinks, and you know you need to go to the ladies, to the gents, to the ningirigini, but it needs to be done zvine consideration. If you can hold it.
Now I think pa engo yazvinongobva ka. Ndekuti generally you see kuti culture ye stand up comedy and it. In as much as stand-up comedy yagara inoitwa chichiches dating as far back as my days ana Edgar Langeville museum. But ndinofila kuti aina kumbobvira yakawana a very extended run as a commercial art form. Inongwa inotongozika nevanhu vese paspace kuti tirikuita kunoitwa stand-up comedy chichichi. So vanhu vakarerwa nekuenda kumangoma, kuenda kumaband, kuenda say. So really in their minds, when they come, that's what. So ndinofunga kuti pamwe zvinotora a bit of time and also maybe a bit of pointing out, like you're saying. But I feel like it's probably not really intentional. You
can tell it's not meant to be harmful, but it ends up being harmful.
I know.
It ends up being harmful.
Comedy, because I think perspective that we're trying to share is put yourself in this position. Because music, pauri kutongoti masawira uchitamba pa stage. Urutotamba and you're expecting everyone to be actually moving as well.
Yes.
But imagine you are the one who is speaking. So kana munhu achitaura aritoda kuti uteerera, ada kuti umunzwe.
Ngatipembere tidzoke. Tidzoke.
So yeah, we'll get there.
Tiri papo futi another subject that I've been noticing. Again, inyaya yema free tickets. Kutoda kusiura hama dzangu dzakawanda. Kuti ma free tickets ari pa 2. For the most part, it's with absolute discretion. I choose who I give free tickets to, depending on several factors. But the most important factor about many of those factors is ndrukudaire. That's the most important factor,
deciding.
Right? Ukaona uri munhu, pane vanhu vandakaona vane kauni kekuti vari kuziva kuti show iri kuuya, and they don't buy tickets. Vanomirira day before, a week before, to reach out and say ndanzwa kuti ma tickets apera. Pane plan inokwanisa kuitika here. For the most part, initori nevanhu who I know kuti genuinely uyu munhu anga ari busy. Uyu munhu didn't ningirigeni. Because munhu here, for the most part, when they reach out, they actually don't want free tickets. They want wangu.
So what's
I got
the How can
I want to particularly apera here kana kuti pane gona kubuda nditenge ma tickets angu. Ningirigeni. But pane vamwe vanotoita reach out yekuti pane ningirigeni here, pane ma tickets wangu taida kuyaka kushow. And then ndovamadi. Because I say that to say for the most part, the problem that is happening here is people overestimate their relationships with either me or him or Munash, right? For the most part, kana uri munhu who feels like you deserve free tickets, for the most part unotonga wakagara utori nawo ndiwo unototanga kupiwa ma tickets wa. Ukaona masvika a week before pasina kubata kuti ma tickets enyu, you are more likely to not have. So don't save me, save everyone involved the embarrassment yekuti pane guest list here, hapana. Hapana guest list, guys. Hama dzangu ini chacho dzepamoyo, people that don't deserve to buy my tickets,
they do,
are the first people wangu. onhingirini. Almost everyone that we end up buying, vanhu vatinotopa matickets ekutoti nhingirini package nhingirini, guys, timu rekunyaradzo, because mari dzinenge dzabviswa imari dzekuti kuti uzoti haiwa matickets enhingirini, it's ridiculous. Andiona saka kuti shamwari, guys, mari idzi hadzisati tasvika palevel yekuti mauya aya ari life changing. The margins achina ari very thin, very small.
That's true.
Mune muchitotora mari dzana maita
Yeah,
kutotapudza chaiko.
So anytime you're asking for a free ticket, I want you to visualize this analogy. Yes, spoon porridge inenge yakutopinda mukana wamamaita so yobva kasvika kungoidai so.
Exactly.
No picture dot every time barongo ndipo free ticket. Ona uchibvutira mwana spoon so. I want you to see how cruel and how evil that is. And because those on the dot inini hangu, I haven't faced so much of that. Maybe it's because munhu ese anenge ari sure of the response yanchaba. Kana kuti kazhinji ngoti ndotongoivhura haitongobrutika kuti what are you saying? Inini yandinombowana ndekuti ndinoannounce kuti yo, what's happening? Gweru, ndiri mugweru, we have a show tonight. Then munhu ati uri papi ndiyozokuona. And my nigga, ndati ndine show nhasi manene. If you really want to see me, if you're really a big fan like you're claiming, I'm a big fan. And I usually get this from people who are not planning to come to the show. And you're like, so the message that you're saying to me is, look, I like you so much that I want to see you, but you're not good enough that for me deserve that type. Because zvibatanidza nekuti ndara handina ticket, ndokwanisa kuwana picture. Avatombodaro. Anongoti uri papi ndiyozokuona. Kana munhu anoti ndaziva kuti uri muLondon, domboita video ka. Ngatimboitei video tese. Kokungotrail ndirini kuri kunzi ndo motive yangu yandinayo. Kokungotrail kuitawo kanyi kuti mudhara ndatotenga ticket, otonditumira screenshot kuti ndindabva kutenga chichi tosangana kushow. Ozonditiwo hakuka ngatizo andozino
ndokunyenga
wandisoka pakona pekuti but wasako
andiona balance hapana
but yakuradza kuti uri kutodiscarda, uri kutodisregarda zvimwe zvezvandiri kuita kuti iwe
uri kutaura zvabasa
yatite video. So ndezvimwe zvatinosangana nazvo zvinonombo.
Yeah, there's a lot of stress, guys, behind the scenes in trying to make some of these things happen.
That's true.
A little consideration goes a long way. Because for the most part, titongorowo vanhu vane mafeelings. Kutongozongoedzawo kutongozvikamfuta kuti usapinde mafeelings kuti at least ndine 30 pounds yake. But mafeelings anenge atongoripo kuti zvinhu zvafamba here, zvinhu hazvina kufamba here. Zvinhu izvi apa tingadai ndizvo here. So yeah, man, it's I wanted to say something, ndalose the train of thought yangu pa ningiri. Kuti tizoita tese mweya wa silent killer atizozvigona zvakuti apa makamirira kuti ndiite majokes. Manje handisikuita sorry zvenyu hazvigoni. Nah, silent killer is the
hazvigoni. Silent killer is just another man altogether. So and I've tried to study why you see figures like Silent Killer, Soldier Love become very popular in ukadaita ngoni a very cleaned up act, like you say all the right things, you dress the right way, you're very conventional. People might respect you, but you don't get as much support. So they try to study the psychology behind it. A part of it is because sometimes you say stuff that other people want to say, but they don't have the boldness to say. So they feel like they are living vicariously through you.
People feel freer.
Saka vanhu vanofeel right. At least as one, because people also get tired with Nijwadi or interview on so what inspires you. Chichi over no, sometimes then I'm going depressed, so people get tired of that. In as much as in a lot of the cases might be true. But pakazoitwa pambomuka munhu anoti isusu
atitonga nemasaladi
tenchitoda mari jamani. Urikuona isusu kana takuti takuta mafreestyle andika who saka imi mukuti matanga unzwa because of Holiton. Who is Holiton?
But then to that I ask kuti Is it really support though?
No, it's not. It's not support. It's just ndinoti encouragement. Kungokukurudzira and kungokukuchidzira kuti ita. However, because true support involves also saying nicho chichaiwa but aiwa kurasika. Ukaona munhu anonzi munhu asingambonzi awakurasika isi support. Vanhu vari kuti just go as far as you can, then deal with the consequences. Kuti this will just cheer you on. Whether zviri kukusungisa, I saw a tweet, somebody was saying it's really sad how the media houses take advantage of silent killer, which I felt like has a drop of truth to it, because it is almost guaranteed. But if we bring silent killer here and we ask him controversial subjects, or sometimes even not very controversial subjects, he's just going to say something controversial. So some may feel like it's almost like it was overdone at some point.
Yes.
It got tiring, man, because everyone would just invite him like for the 10th time. You know what he's gonna say.
And my worry now is Kuti, what is the financial reward to that for him, for anyone? Because I know for the media houses, obviously the views go
traction,
up, right? But also for him now, I would because I know Americans akuna ma interviews avanaita for free. Like be it on YouTube, be it on podcast, which is my worry, where I would understand, because for the most part atina we do confirmation kuti ndozvokuitika, but unongochiona kuti mukomana anogona akabatwa apa paningirina. Saka it's almost as if
promotion.
No one is bringing up nyaya yekuti but makabatwa kaimi. No one is trying to encourage. So it almost feels like they are in this fight against drugs, we are tacitly endorsing. Because we can, but we know kuti tikazomita sober maybe
we are not going to get
the reaction that we want. So where do you guys really stand on this war on drugs? Because pachazokutuka or pachazoita ningirisha we should have we've lost it ningirikini, but
every other behavior that is propelled by the use of drugs, mangamchikurudzira mchiomberera. But anyway, it's just speculation.
I speculate that ndo pabridge gamota dzenchiti mfumo ndeyake
akaba until we get the facts.
Another thing that we need to speculate on. Big congratulations, Saint Flo came out this week. He signed a new deal with Virgin Music. I think for the most part there was a lot of people just happy for the guy, because Saint Flo, I think, is one of those guys who, aside from that whole Samanyanga sounds and Pakazongwenda, he doesn't really have controversy that follows him.
No, not really. Just industry politics.
Yeah, industry politics. But for the most part, you feel happy for him. You root for the guy. He seems to me, from the times that I've met him, a very wholesome character, happy-go-lucky. Right? So the reaction was as expected. People saying, he deserved it. But then on the other side, there were people that were like, Madira aruzovara vanhu ere. Madira ningirina. And I'm not well versed with the music industry, So obviously, in as much as I'm greatly happy, I do hope it puts him in a position where he actually competes. Ne boys rukupisa or regional, internationally.
Even the only thing is, I'm not really, and so I don't really know what a distribution deal entails.
Right.
Does it mean like this record company, Basarabo, they don't go push into new markets?
I think that's primarily what it is.
Okay.
So so from what I understand, Saint Flo is signed to Nash Nation.
Okay.
So they, I guess, are responsible for the recording, the production, the what of the music. They're responsible for the most part, him as an artist. Then gonna music because we kind of markets placement into different things like South African radio, Nigerian radio, placing it in movies, placing it,
could go wrong,
things like that.
No, I feel like I Madiri don't feel longer safe. Madiri asinga interfere ne production. ndinoona ari safe.
But then again, true speculator.
Yeah, true.
Hatizozive hedu kuti ndizvo here, but from how it was being transcribed, from how it was being phrased in the articles that I saw, it seemed as if there was a separation and this was a distribution deal and whatnot, and the relationship starts with the album Ruguya Ir.
Okay,
right.
All right.
Where that's where it starts being covered.
Okay. It's not for previous music.
Yeah. So and this angle I cover previous music, but I'm assuming it doesn't.
Right.
So it'd be very interesting to see what new levels get.
I also saw someone say, come on. I think I also saw someone in the comments for Twitter achiti Simba tags.
Right.
And a similar deal.
I don't know if Simba tags is a distribution deal or is a publishing deal. I don't know. Okay. The music actually is too technical. Kunema publishing, kunema distribution,
at the end of the day, what we want to see is the result.
Yeah,
Kuti, what does it translate to? Does it mean kuti you don't see Silas Mawende iri panamba 9 Billboard top 100. So, but I think overall, man, I think it's a step in the right direction.
Yeah. I'm pretty certain there are people who are listening to this podcast who are more knowledgeable about it. So please come through.
Drop your wisdom
in the comments. I know the guys at Two Broke Twimbos will be well versed and will probably would have broken down. But yeah, Baba, I think do you have any nuna?
Wow, you know the nyadzi dadzizo
and adzizo nyadzotaurika pamberi pekamera
and dzine dzakawandisa, you know the reaction with one of my wife whenever you call me. So if we're having a conversation with my wife, atogara tara nyaya tikona TV chichi phone yenyu yobvarira akaona kuti ndima obva atombobuda because she knows it's going to be 45 minutes 1 hour 2 hours and ari pafone
mundiregerero mai Malakai
ndakugadzira wigi yangu zvaungini Malakai ngatibude muno. That's always the reaction because I guys don't kutaura kwacho akupere.
Yeah, that's very tutotuma podcast.
So honestly, azvimbofa zvakasvika pazvinoti zvazopera. But you know, in any opportunity I get, two of the things I always want to do, apart from, entertaining and just making people happy, I always want to uplift and I always want to appreciate people. So we're very thankful for all the support. Ano like, ano comment, ano share. It might seem like some people get more recognition than the other, right? But Sue says ndikuti pavanhu vanenge vachiti appreciate. It might seem kuti and like we mentioned the guy akatibata revenue tava tamutaura kune mumwe munhu anenge achishare mapost edu every day kana kuti anoti link repodcast akabuda anoshare family group kwake and we don't get to know that and they don't feel seen kuti if these guys knew kuti every time they release a podcast they not share. So it kuti however it might seem to you or however it might be received, you must just know that deep down in our heart of hearts we are so thankful to have people like you. 1 subscriber, 10 views, 100 views, 1,000 views, really just effective to somebody took their time to buy a ticket, to buy merchandise, to like, to comment, to share. We are so grateful,
incredibly
for
grateful.
That. And maybe just to say something that we've never really done directly is just maybe to speak to other creatives who are coming up, right? Because there are a lot of people who also see what you're doing and see you going all over the world. Sold out show and they feel like but sometimes we tend to romanticize the whole thing, It just seems like you're on a plane, you're in a hotel, you're on the stage. We don't talk about the family politics that happens when you start to seem to succeed. The stress that some people who are probably your friends start putting you through, the talks that happen behind your back. We don't talk about being away for 3 weeks from your family.
From your kids.
From your kids. We don't talk about what if you get a call.
The things that you're missing out.
Uchingolenda German. All ones Maita has just been coughing since last night. I don't even know what's wrong.
akamboita kaspet kekuti Maita anga kuita diarrhea.
Imagine. And your mouth, and it's not like you're a doctor,
Yeah.
but just feeling helpless, could everything
Because what happens now in Kenya, especially with sickness and Maita, if he gets a diarrhea scare or whatever, it means he has to come back home. So kana mama wake vari panapa, it means mama wake vakuita focus on that. Havachashandi zvavo izvozvo. So now you are feeling terrible kuti, I'm here, living my dreams, but pane munhu ari padeni who has suspended their own dream too, because unfortunately their job tends to make them available. In theory, it's not really available. Exactly. Not available because physically
she's there, but
very there. So it's that thing. And kana akaita scare, he can't come back to school until 48 hours until the last. Anoona. Saka patone 2 days zekuti you are praying kuti, but it just means 2 days idzi. Asenda chikoro.
And you're perform manera, you're supposed to go on stage. So, and the billions of other things that happen, the investments that you put into something to show and it doesn't work out. So I'm just also putting out this other side of the coin.
Yeah.
So that no one is drawn entirely because of what they feel this feels like or looks like. But if you're ever gonna go into it because you genuinely love it.
That's it.
Because there are shows we've done where maybe was it a myth
and my shows all for the most part chisingataurike ndekuti akawanda kudarika my shows that you live without financial question.
That's true.
So let me to support that point. Guys, a sold out show and a successful show are two different things. So show you're not gonna get a sell out. But dzimwe nguva munenge maita nharo neshow to make it happen. The things that you have to put aside from the financial aspect, maybe show yange gereshidura, but the things that you have to do that have nothing to do with the show. Yekuti to travel apa tufana kuwedzera mwana ku daycare ma hours ake, or arifana kuenda kwa gogo vake, arifana ningirina that effort yekuningirina. Kana tora takutotora zvinhu zvakadai, so
so many mechanics.
Higi mahaga yakutofana kuita kuti to make this happen. Kana wazogara pasi wozoti show yaita sold out but yanga isiri successful because andina kufila
too much for me. Exactly.
It took too much for me.
You win, but you don't appreciate the victory because you feel like you've lost yourself. You feel like you show you and you tell your wife, it was a great show, but you see she's not as excited because she to some extent she's saying at what cost? Like what price did we have to pay to make that happen? So anyway, we're not even saying this to like scare people off.
No.
And we're also not trying to put ourselves in a position where we whine about our job and be like, our job is so difficult, it's the most difficult job. No. We know there are so many men doing much harder things. We have to be away from their families for 4-6 months, who are sometimes earning very little versus the amount of effort they put in. But it's just to make sure that the picture is clear to everyone.
Because even, you know that story that I was sharing online, this guy paid for the venue. There was a few comments that if I figures, guys. This is me neither confirming or denying, but the thing that struck me about that whole Nigrin is komama kumaveringire.
Banzi King, even one under wearing a chiro van, varum picture. Could pakatora picture on the Zara on it and over 1, 2, 3, 320 times $10. What a 3.2 come on. Saga, most of my inflation. Yeah. But anyway, overall, that's we are so grateful, we're so thankful, and we're gonna keep doing this. We respect the support that we get to the point where we try our best to make sure wherever we go, wherever we meet, we
Yeah.
try to give you the best experience.
Yeah.
Because we also know that in your various respects, you are also working hard to make some money. So I can auto spend
Yeah.
$1 which I want to see these guys. To
True.
balance. Ndakaudza vanhu vekuzambia ndikati mari yamabhadhara iyi kuno kuzambia inotenga 4 majini. Saka show yandiri kurova iyi ndiye 4 majini.
Ndiye kutongo rudo.
Ndufana saka tuona mai. So
another thing also, don't call someone wamuri tuya kushow kuma 6 kweshow moti kwanza tumfonera tasvika ndokuonai makushoni stress because pfungwa kwadzenge dziri anokona pane pachipisa. So all this to say, thank you so much, guys. You guys have literally changed our lives. It can only get better. Mukomana uyu is coming to Allen, Texas, 21. Then in between there, pane private function ehama. Then 18 October.
Then ozoita seyo finally zenda wa America.
America ndozouya kuAmerica. But that's in November. 10 we're going to be in White Plains, New York.
On my birthday.
13th 10 tiri kuAmerica. Ndokuita first time tiri ku Times Square. Ku New York wasoda kusvikeyo.
Don't be so sure. Don't be so sure.
Then 13th of November we're in Maryland. We close off on the 17th in Dallas, Irving, Texas. But before that, tichazoenda ku Poland, Poland. I think my tickets were asara mashomani. They should be sold out by the time this episode comes out. Then Cologne, Germany, the weekend after that.
All right.
And then
Zambia mazochi. Zambia mazochi. What I want, I think Tongo Shansa Mkana to really make the official announcement.
Zambia.
He's not coming. But I want you to make it abundantly clear. And this city.
Apana, there's no muna awe akataura kuti kwakusangana dongwerezesa. Ndikati aiwa. Kana va serious vazoita
decision.
Kana aiwa ndina aiwa. Decision iyoyo makangodzoka munonzwa kuti ndakafonera mukomana ndikadzambia kwangurisei kanzi ndikati ndizvozvo baba. Nyaya yekuzambia kana vari serious pazambia palusaka panojogeka mukatanga kufamba iko zvino muona mai saka aiwa Zambia kana ma serious tosangana Big Fours musa 13 ningirikini December 10 pa Big Fours mukachekerera nemuningiri mwamya aiwa tendiripo. But guys, this has been another episode of Black and Forth. Mr. Chiwenga wasn't here, but we found a munamirira member of parliament Sengezo Shabangu comedy Vamaritinho.
Yes. It's been such a pleasure, man.
Thank you so much, Baba.
Totally enjoyed being
Thank you so much. This is the first and last. Aiwa ame manyanya. Mema to silent killers we panapa.
All right, bo. Ameno kuti vanhu munochina. Bo hanzi ndokange upesera guys.
Apa mamirwa ndisekesa.
Aiwa bo. Ameno hanzi ndokange upesera.
Uzona chance kurecord.